dash of Dave, he brings the cheer. Crafty wonders year to year. Scissors, glue, and ribbons dear. Handmade holidays appear. Old-time charm with modern...
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave here, and I am back for another crafty video. So you're going to have to bear with me because I have put this video off for far too long. Not because I didn't want to do it, but because my voice hasn't allowed me to do it. So I have practically lost my voice. I've had COVID for the last week. I have been quite ill and not able to do anything other than, well, I took one day off work. That was the day that I just could not do anything. And the rest of the week I have been at work and then sleeping. So I've basically turned into a hedgehog. So without further ado, let me introduce myself. My name is Dave. I am a crafter and I have been doing craft for many a year now, but I've been on YouTube for 6 years. I'm nearly at 3,000 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, subscribe now, because I'd be really grateful. If you subscribe, you might be able to heal my voice. I might have to cut in various stages halfway through this, because if my voice goes or if I need to cough or anything like that. So let me say more. So I am doing a Crafter's Christmas collaboration, hard to say anyway, even harder when you're breathless, which is by Rach&Bella Crafts. The hashtag for that is Acrafterschristmashop. All of this will be in the description, so you'll be able to see all of this. And my fellow collaborator is Kim from My Artful Crafts. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to make what we're doing One Sheet Wonderland, and I'm going to make a one sheet wonder. Now, as you, well, some of you know that already knew me, I did 52 one sheet wonders. So you've got a one sheet wonder for every week of the year, and that is a playlist, and you'll see that at the end of this video on the title card, so you'll be able to click on that and you'll be able to watch that playlist. And I'm going to make what I called a Secret 7 at the time, and we're going to call it a Secret 7 Christmas Remix this time. And it's a great way to give a gift card. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to make it. I will link the video to how, for all the measurements and the scoring and the card that you need, etc., in the description. I will make one, so all the bits are cut out ready for me. I will decorate it with you, okay, and then I'm going to pass over to Kim, who's going to do her take on this one sheet wonderland. So you can then go over to her channel and take a look. So I'm doing, this is the 20th of November, so Thursday the 20th of November, and you can watch hers on Friday the 21st of November. So I hope that you will enjoy what I do, and I hope you appreciate that I didn't do all the measurement and scoring and everything in front of you, because there is a video already for that and you can go and check that out. Okay, and then hopefully you might see other things that you like. Don't forget, give the video a like. Don't forget to join in and, you know, comment and, you know, whatever you want to do, share it as well. If I could turn back time. You know, anybody that knows me already knows that I kind of break into song. I don't know how good that's going to be. I might only be able to sing things like Barry White and Bonnie Tyler, because they've all got like a bit of a gravelly voice like I have at the moment. All right, then, let's get on with this. So we're going to make what's called a Secret 7, and basically what that is when you open it up, the middle part of the card will pop out, okay, and it will reveal the center part. Now I have a version here, okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to make this. So this bit pops out, see how this pops out, and in here we have a gift card, and it's a great way to give a gift card at Christmas, where, you know, somebody that you know, whenever we give gift cards, they can get a bit boring just being in an envelope with a card. So, you know, it's a nice way to do that. So I'm going to be using some of Rach&Bella's new Christmas kit, okay, and the link to that will also be in the description. I also have my own digitals. I will link my Etsy and my Ko-fi, I might also use a couple of my own digitals just to kind of a bit of a finishing touch. So anyway, let's get on with this because I'm 5 minutes into the video and I haven't done anything. What the heck? You don't want to listen to me talk? Well, you're going to have to because, like, this is my channel and this is what I do. Okay, so I've cut out some bits and basically I've got all the pieces, and then what I've done is I've selected bits of the papers that I think work well together because I wanted a bit of a theme and that also go with the kind of person that I am. I tend to like more grungy, more Victorian, old-looking, crafty things. So this is the cover. So for the cover, what I decided to use was I'm going to use these. Okay, so we're going to use where is the other bits? So we're going to use these to cover and decorate all of our various panels. And these have already been cut out. Now I might have to cut them down a little bit, but generally they should be all hunky-dory and okay. So like I say, if I have to pause the video, it's because I need to breathe. And so that's coming up right now. You won't notice a difference. I'm just going to pause it. I'll be back in a second. Sorry. Apologies about that. Just I have to kind of keep my voice lubricated. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover this. Now, what I had an idea to do is to have it so that it looks like a little envelope. So this is going to come over here. I've got two of these because that way then I can layer one on. I can have the other bit, so there's only the top half. So you open it up and it looks like you're opening a letter. And on the back we have this bit on here. Might need to cut it down a little bit more. So that's what we're going to do. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to trim the edges now. If I can get this to go through my little punchy thing, I will. This is when you go, oh no, that doesn't work, does it? The only way to find out is the only way out is through, Dave. So, oh no, it did clip it. I think it might need a little bit more of a roundy bit on the corner. We'll do that then. So I know you could, in theory, fussy cut. Anybody that's ever met me will know that I don't fussy cut. I'm not a fan of the fussy cut. I don't have the patience. Well, it's not the fact that I don't have the patience. It's the fact that I can't do the focusing on doing fussy cuts and getting on with life. I end up usually cutting something off. So I do want it to have a little bit of a border so you can still see this red edge. So I think I'm going to cut this down. So I'm going to trim the bottom edge off, and I'm just going to I say freehand, I mean I'm going to use a blade to cut it off with, rather than, and I know that means that I'm then going to have to trim the other bit again, but that's what we're going to do. So yes, if you're new around these parts, hello, welcome. As you will see, I have approximately 875 videos for your delectation, and hopefully if you haven't seen my videos before, you'll go over and after this video you'll check out some of my other ones. I like to do a bit of quirky crafts, so as in I like to have a bit of banter, a bit of singing. Don't take myself too seriously, and one of the big things that I do is I leave in my mistakes, because you know, if I'm making mistakes, it almost gives you permission to do so too. So right, what we want to do is I want to find out how much of that I want to see at the top there. So we're going to cut this one down as well, and I think we're going to cut it so that do we want to go to that bit there? Or shall we go a little bit? Sorry, the singing, it happens. We just have to we go with it. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth from 1 minute to the next. So, you know, it could be worse, is all I could say. So I've just marked with some pencil where I'm going to cut this down to. Okay, and obviously, you know, if you're doing yours, if you're making one, you can cover yours in whatever you like, and whichever pages you want to, whether it's from this kit or somebody else's kit, or even just leaving it blank. Entirely up to you. Right. But these were the pages that I chose that really fitted with my style, and I think you'll find that this kit has got something for everyone. Sorry for the knocking. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Oh my gosh, I've hit notes there by singing that I've never hit before, because I shouldn't, or maybe shouldn't hit again, or somebody should hit me for hitting them. The other thing I'm not allowed to do is laugh, because it makes me cough. So I do make myself laugh, and I do end up coughing. So you're just going to have to accept that there's going to be a few cuts in this, because coughing and laughing are interchangeable in my life. Right, I'm going to use some roasted chestnuts on an open fire. No, chestnuts roasting, but this is called roasted chestnuts. So it had to be done. It had to be sung. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this edge just so that it looks a little bit less new, because it's got a white edge. I mean, like, I've literally printed this on. It's like good quality copier paper. It's not. I didn't use the cheap stuff. I thought I would throw caution to the wind in gay abandon, and go the whole hog. Right, I'm just going to ink around the edges, because this card. This is a double-sided card. I believe it's a Crafter's Companion, but please don't quote me. It does have a white inner core, and so it doesn't really kind of go with the vibe, does it? Doesn't go with the vintage crisps. So we're going to just ink around that edge, and also a little bit on the edges, and it doesn't look too new that way. We can come in all around. Christmas time. Sorry, I've got Band-Aid now. Here's to you, raise a glass to everyone. No, we don't. Please, that's not a song to sing with a voice like this, is it? I need to be singing, turn around every now and then. Get a little bit terrified. Oh no, I don't want to. You don't want me to sing that because I don't know the words. That might be a good idea to know the words before you try and sing something, Dave. Or make them up as you go along. Life is for singing. You know what they say? Sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song. So I am, and I literally took those words as fact and ran with it, really. And just like running with knives shouldn't be done. So yeah, if you're here for some sanity, you're in the wrong place. So if you see a blink of this, by the way, this is my cut card. I have to put it in so that I know where to cut when I come to my editing, because coughing is the only thing I'm particularly good at these days. So it's been a bit of a nightmare having COVID. I did not want to get out of bed when I had that day off work. I was not. Well, I got up to go to work, and I got in the shower, and I felt like death. So, and death is out there going, don't blame me, it's nothing to do with me. Felt like I just crawled back from hell. Like a bat out of hell. No, don't sing that. So that's how I'm going to have it, so that when we open it up, it looks like that. That's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to pop that on there. Let's just make sure that that's going to go on there now, because now I've moved it a little bit. Does it go? Oh, it does. Does it go, Joe? It do go, Joe. It gives some good mojo, Joe. Well, I don't know who Joe is. Well, I do know who Joe is, but Joe, I'm not blaming you, Joe. Sorry. So I'm just going to glue this down, and then we'll kind of go from there. So yes, check out Kim. So she has got a channel. She's got 1.45 subscribers at the moment. I was going to say ATM, but then I realised not everybody knows what ATM means. At the moment, I'm trying. I look at me getting down with the kids. I can get down with the kids, I just can't get back up again. That's my joke, and the old ones are the best. That's why I'm still here. So, I printed something else on. I think I used a bit of paper because I'd run out of paper, and then I was having a bit of a panic, and then I found a piece that I'd printed one side, so I put that back through. I like to be a bit kind of frugal with my paper because, you know, it costs money and it's trees. So we're going to pop that on there. Okay, so I hope you get the idea now. You're going to open it up, and it'll look like, you know, like a little letter, like we're opening a letter. Oh my gosh, look at me, all being up. Right, okay, chill up, Dave. I'm going to cut the corners off this, but I'm not going to cut them quite as round. I'm just going to snip the corners. Oh, lovely. So anybody that's been here before will probably know that my beloved Fiskars corner cutter bit the dust. I'd had it for quite some time, maybe 12 years, and I had to say so long, farewell. If it is that you heard to you, and you, and you, and you, and you heard. Anyway, yeah, so I had to say goodbye because it bit the dust. It would not chomp. Its last corner had been chomped, and I tried to fix it. Well, that didn't go very well. So I've had to buy a new one. So this is the one I've got. I'm still getting used to it. It's a We Are Memory Keepers one, but it does the job. I like the fact that it's just like my Fiskars one. It got 3 different. I was going to say noggins. No, don't say nobbins. 3 little pigs. No. 3 little bears. No, not none of them. 3 sizes. That's the one. So, so which way around should we put it? We'll put it that way around. Cool. So we're going to pop that on there, and that's going to go on the back. I think it's going to look sweet as. I don't know where sweet as came from, but it should go back to wherever it came from. Yeah, sorry if my my vocal range goes through the range of humans being able to hear me, through to dogs, and probably eventually only dolphins can hear me. But you know, there's very little I can do about it. I am so much better than I was. At least I'm able to talk, because I wasn't able to talk earlier in the week. My friend Corey can testify to that, because I've had some very strange vocal range of late. So okay, so there we go. That's the outside. So I think that looks really nice and dandy. And then on the inside, the sun still shines. Oh dear, just don't hit that note. That'll hit you back. So we're going to pop this one on here. Okay, so this is the middle bit. This is the bit where it'll do all of the poppy-uppy bit. Let's just get that prototype thing here. So this is the one. So this bit is this bit here. So that's the bit we need to do next, along with we also need to do this one at a similar stage. And so this is going to be the actual bit that pops out, and I thought I'd have that as like a bit of a postcardy type thing. So they're going to go back to back there. So again, I think I want this to be a little bit of this showing, so a little bit of the background card. So I've cut this to be exact, but I think we need it to be a little shorter, so I'm going to take a little bit off each edge. So, and then we'll see. Turn around every now and then. Yeah, Dave, we've established that you are no Bonnie Tyler. Sorry, Bonnie. She wouldn't be very Bonnie if she heard me singing, would she? So that's going to go on there with a little bit of an edge showing. Again, we will ink around the edge of this. That is edging it closer to that, and I need to move that out of the way, otherwise everything will just be covered in a big blob of brown. Well, chestnut chairs that's roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So, Yuletide carols. Shh. Stop now. We get a cease and desist order at this rate. And we want to make this a little bit shorter. So, this bit measures. Let's just have a look and see what we've got. 3.5. So, we need to make this shorter than 3.5. That's me 3.5 mark. Let's go. It might not be called Mark. It might be called Paul. Who cares? Anyway, Dave, shut up. You think you're funny, but you're not. Funny, peculiar, funny looking, definitely. Funny, ha, jury's out. So I'm going to cut that bit down. So yeah, I did a lot of this cutting beforehand, just because I wanted to kind of speed up the whole process. But also knowing that I might need to do a bit of on the hoof trimming. On the hoof? Get me? I don't have any hoofs. I'm not. I was going to say I'm not a reindeer. Although Santa has asked me this year to guide his sleigh because my nose is brighter than Rudolph's. So Rudolph won't be guiding the sleigh this year. It will be me, yours truly, instead. So we're gonna just finish this off. Yes, my nose is rather, I mean, it's always been rather large and red and large, but now it's even larger and redder. You can see it from space. It's one of the great wonders of the world now. It's like they say that you can see apparently they say that you can see the Great Wall of China from space, but apparently that's not true. Yeah, they say that's they can see my nose now. So I've just done that bit. I'll leave that there. We need to cut a slot out of that, but let's get these bits covered up first. Okay, so this is the bit that's going to go in here, and it's going to push through the slot that we're going to make shortly, and we're going to cover these. So this is the bit where we will put our gift card in. Okay, and I have chosen to have it so that we've got. Oh, I don't know. Should we do it that way around? Shall we do it that way around? So that we have. Oh no, we want the green on the outside, don't we? Yeah, let's put the green on the outside. So we've got green. This is red edge. This is going to have a green edge. So yeah, and then we'll pop that on there. Cool. Okay. What we do want is we want a divot. Who you call it a divot? Out of here. But the thing is, we'll wait until we've got it all on. Before we cut the divot, because it's easier to do the divot once we've got all layered up than try and do it afterwards. Okay, so let's get an idea of how big this is going to be. Right, I think I'm going to go to the inner edge. You see this borderline? Borderline. I don't know the sorry Madonna, I don't know your lyrics to that. Your love keeps on pushing through the borderline, something like that. I don't know. It's a long time ago, the 80s. I was there, but I don't remember it all, I'm afraid. Sorry, Madonna. So, like I say, I'm just going to cut up to this edge, and I'm just going to do that again with a tool, because I am a tool. I'm going to cut up to there with a blade, because I just like the precision of a blade that I don't always get with a pair of scissors when you're in love with a beautiful woman. No, not that. When you're what's the word? Not feeling very well. That's the word. When you're not feeling very well and you've got shaky hands. Shaky bakey hands. So it's probably the best to do it with a guided hand with a ruler and a blade, although, you know, shaky hands and a blade might not actually be conducive to good fortune for everyone, but I've been cutting with a blade for a long time, so I feel confident with that. Okay, so they should now be able to be layered on there and have, oh, look at that, nice little border that. And we're sticking these onto the green side, aren't we? So we want to have it, which bit way round do we want? Do we want it? Okay, so we've got two sides. There's two sides to every story, Dave. So do we want him on to be seen? Or do we want, and then, so if it's that way, it'll be that way. Yes, I think that's right. I think I prefer that than, so this is the lead edge that you'll see. So otherwise it would be that and that. No, I definitely prefer to see more of him and see this. Okay, and then this bit will be at the bottom. What we do want to do is we just want to cut that down to being the length of the paper itself. So I'm going to just see if I can do that with a pair of sausages. A pair of, no, we said not a pair of anything, Dave. With a blade and a ruler, not a pair of scissors. So I'm going to cut that down to there. Yeah, so this is my, I think this is my third collaboration for Rach&Bella. Last year I did, I did do the Christmas one last year, and I also did Tracy Fox's last year, but I did Tracy Fox's Halloween one this year. So, and you know, there's only so many collaborations you can do, especially when you work full time, as I do. So, shall we cut that to a rounded corner? Yeah, let's do that. So that's that edge. So that's. Oh no, it's going to go that way. It's going to go that. Yeah, that's fine. So that and that. Let's put those together like that. In fact, I might. No, I don't know. Yeah, I might cut that to the same length as that, because we don't want it actually on the folded bit, because you don't really want to see that under the mechanism. You'll see what I mean when I put it together, and then you'll go, oh, is that what you were talking about, Dave? Oh, well, you didn't make yourself very clear, did you? The other thing I'm suffering with is brain fog. I've got such a woolly brain at the moment. It's definitely that COVID-y brain that you get. Anybody that's ever had COVID will know what I mean, that kind of like brain fog that we have. There we go. Yeah, so that's cool. So we're going to put, let me get myself together. Right, that's going to go on there, that's going to go on there, they're going to go back to back. Yep, that's cool. Okay, so let's put some ink around, just like the Buffalo Girls. They go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. I am not Nona Cherry either, so all of these people that are going to come after me one day and say, you know what, you've ruined my song. And, you know, the fair point, you know, guilty as charged. I cannot sing. I don't sing for you, I sing for me. And thereby hangs a tale, and thereby hangs a problem. So we're going to pop that on there, and we will just ink these edges as well, just to get rid of that white edge. I know now that gives me a brown edge, but you know, I like the vintage look rather than the just out of the shop look. But if you want to have a newer look and you want a cleaner look, then you do you, and I will do me, and we will meet in the middle, and that's how it's going to be. And it wasn't meant to rhyme, but it did. And you know, at the end of the day, you can't have too much rhyme in your time. Stop it, Dave. It's not funny anymore. Well, never really funny in the first place, but you know what I mean. So So my voice is not normally this octave. I mean, like, you know, I like to think I've got a fairly deep voice, although some people probably would go, you sound like a dolphin on steroids, Dave, normally. But I like to think it's fairly deep, but, you know, like I say, it might not be. But this is a lot deeper than it normally is. So, and it's also not normally this gravelly. But like I say, I'm glad I've got it, because I didn't have it earlier in the week. And you know something, it's terrible when you're not feeling in the mood to craft. It's really bad. It can be really. You know, crafting is my mental health therapy. It's the thing that gets me through the day, and sees me through. You know, when I'm at work and I'm thinking, you know, I can't wait to get out of here and go and do some craft. But when you're feeling poorly and you can't do the thing that you want to. And it wasn't just that I couldn't, I didn't have any interest in it, and I was a bit upset about that. So, but you know, never mind, we're here and we're doing it now. And you know, I know that for a lot of you out there, it's also your mental health management as well. So they are going to go together like that. You notice that it's only got one flap on here, and that's the mechanism that pushes it out. We don't need two sides of that. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this together. We're going to stick it on two sides and across the bottom bit here. So that's this cut side. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue down here and a bead of glue down either side. And we're leaving the top bit open because that's where we're going to put our card for our gift card. So I love, you know, I know some people think that they're a bit of a cop-out having a gift card, but I love a gift card. You know, if you're going to give somebody something, I'd rather give them a gift card. I know that they're going to spend it on, maybe you choose the shop, and that way then you feel you've had an input, and then they can get what they want, which I think is great. At the end of the day, we all want what we want, don't we? And if you bought them a gift and they didn't like it, they're only going to keep it and be, oh thanks, great, and then hide it under the sink until next time you come round they'll get it out. I'd rather give them, I'm not suggesting that is the case, but you know, I'm sure there are people out there. I'm just going to cut out this thumb notch like that. That's how I've broken many a circle punch like that with my overzealous thinking it'll go through more layers than it does. Okay, so what we're going to do is, this is our, so it opens like this, so we're going to have this in here and we're going to pop that in the middle there. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the slot for here. So what I'm going to do is, rather than, so you'll see this, this is a very similar way to I did it on the video. I'm just going to mark, and what I'm going to do is not go right up to the edge of here. I'm going to have a little bit of gap, about 1/8 of an inch gap either side. I'm going to mark it with a bit of pencil either side, and then I'm just going to cut the fold off once more into the fold. So I'm going to cut between there and there. Right, I'm going to get my other blade, because that's the one with the big wobbly blade on it. That's more for cutting through board than it is for this job. And I'm going to cut from there down to wherever the other line is, which is there. And then I'm going to just cut that bit out and that bit out, and hopefully that's cut that out. If it hasn't, we'll have to, nope, hasn't quite cut it out. If it hasn't, like I say, we'll just have to go back and do it again. So you'll find when you go the second time, it'll just sit in the same furrow that you have just made. But it's better to cut more than once than it is to cut once and it be, oh no, that hasn't even gone through, than to cut once and it be too hard that you end up shattering the blade. You don't want the blade firing up into your face. That's certainly not what Santa wanted to give you for Christmas, an eye injury. So, and I don't want you to. I'm a resource manager, but part of my job is to look after people's health and safety, so that's what I do. So I'm looking after your health and safety now, so I told you what to do. So don't be naughty and don't do your own thing. Alright. Otherwise you'll have a dash of Dave dashing round. Okay, so let's just take that bit off there. Okay, we should have got a slot now. We did. Okay, just going to tidy that edge up a little bit because I made a bit of a pig's ear there. Oh, that's the other thing, by the way, is I leave my mistakes in. I don't cover up my mistakes, so I don't cut them out. I don't edit them because then if I have mistakes, then it gives you the permission to make mistakes as well. And at the end of the day, we can be overwhelmed and stifled by mistakes when actually they're things that happen to us all. Okay, so that's going to go in there, and that is going to go through there. Okay, like that. Okay, so before we do that, let's get some panels on here. So I think I kind of cut some different colours just in case I hadn't decided which ones I wanted to use. I think I'm going to go with this kind of lighter colour. I really like that. All this. So I'll cut various things. Now I'm going to go with the lighter colour. Now I cut these with I cut them in a draft format, and the reason for that is I just wanted them to be a little bit lighter than they were. Okay, so I think that's which way round are they? They kind of, I think they kind of flow. Yeah, there you go. They do. They flow, and that's going to go on there. Yeah, so I think they're kind of cut to the right sort of size. They are. Okay, let's just round those corners. We will do, how big do we want? A big round, a little round, a semi-round. We'll do, let's go for a big round. A round of applause. No, a round of a corner. No round of applause for me. Your way to give me a round of applause is to give this video a like. So that tells me that you have liked the video, that you have enjoyed the show. You know, if you went to see a show, you'd give them a thumbs up. Well, you'd give them a round of applause. You can't give me a round of applause. Well, I guess you can, but don't sit on your own at home clapping. Somebody will throw you a fish. So you're not a performing seal. So, well, I don't know. You might, if you are a performing seal, pop that in the comments and tell me that you're actually a performing seal watching this for craft ideas, and I will be, well, amazed for one, and probably in disbelief for another. So, but you know, if you are a performing seal, I want to know. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what. Like I say, I don't know what's going to come out of my own mouth. So, you know, the fact that you don't either is no surprises, really. Oh, which way around does it go? Does it go that way? No, I can't remember. Or is it that way? Is it that way? I think it's that way. It doesn't really matter anyway. They all look just as beautiful. What I'm going to do is going to do my inky edge on here. Oh, hello. Inky edge, every now and then I get an inky edge. No, Dave, trying to make up your own words to lyrics is not a good idea. Dash of day, he brings the cheer, crafty wonders year to year, scissors glue and ribbons dear, handmade holidays appear, old-time charm with modern twist, crafty dreams that can't be missed, red and green upon his list. Yes, there we go. See, I can sing that one because that is one of my own songs. So, love it or loathe it. It's my Christmas jingle. And I wanted that kind of like feel of like that yesteryear, the years gone by, you know, when like Jim Reeves would be playing on the gramophone, well, stereogram I think they were called when I was younger. You had the big massive stereogram in the living room. It was like a sideboard that had I can't remember what that, you know, the shuttered type wood, so the wooden thingies that rolled back, and then like there was a drawer that pulled out that had the stereo on the record player, and oh, those days, yes. So we're going to pop that like that. Do we want it like that? Oh, you see, I'm going to have to cough. We're going to pop that. I wanted to have as much of the berries showing as possible, so we're going to have it this way around. Like I say, it doesn't really matter which way around it is, because it's going to look beautiful, because these papers are glorious. Gloria, Gloria. Da, 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 da. Oh dear, that was not a note that anybody has ever heard of before. It's not a note that anybody wants to hear again either, Dave. So put it back to from whence it came, and I have. Okay, so let's pop that on that way. Should we put it on that way? Let's put it on that way. Yeah, it looks pretty similar. Like it's the same, like it's all growing in the same direction. Move in the right direction. So we are the children. We are the children. We are the... Yeah, we're not the children. Well, I'm definitely... I used to be. I'm not now. Oh, it's so annoying having this cough, isn't it? It wasn't the cough that carried him off, it was the coughing that carried him off in. I'm going to just round these corners, because this is my panel for the flap, the inner flap. The inner flap. You are now visiting the inner reaches of the inner flap on the Twilight Zone. Oh, Dave. We've gone through it all today, haven't we? So we've gone from Christmas to the Twilight Zone. Although you probably think you're in the Twilight Zone having to listen to me, so... We are the children. And then now, was that a Michael Jackson song? I think so. Is it that way up? I think the leaves are facing that way, so I think we'll pop it that way. My voice is getting to the point where it's going to go again. I'm going to have to stop, and I can't mention COUGH word, because when I do, it's like, you know, when you say to your dog the WALKIES word, it happens. So whilst I'm not currently triggered, I could be triggered, so by another COUGH, if I say it. So right, let's move some of that out of the way. The coughing continues next week. Tune in next week for more coughing. No, don't tune in next week for more coughing. Nobody wants to see that happen. So we're going to pop that in there. So we've got to kind of glue this all in kind of an in one motion. What you don't want to do, and I mentioned it in my previous video, when you're sticking this bit in, you want to make sure that bit's in first, but you don't want to make it completely flat, otherwise it'll want to push itself in. You want it to kind of just stick a little bit up, a little prominence, shall we say. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop that in there, okay? I'm going to decide where this is going to go. So what you want to do is you want to put this crease on this line, okay? And we're going to glue this panel first before we actually stick this out a bit down. So we're going to, we're going to put some glue on here, and stick this panel down. Now this is going to stick to one side or t'other of the line. So we are going to find our middle. So I'm going to kind of just try and put it in the right sort of place first, and then we'll move it up or down as required. So that is going to go about there, That's going to go about there. We'll just take that off for a minute. Make sure it's not covering that fold. Make sure that when we fold this up, it all stays out of the way, which it does. It's fine. We'll pop that down, and that is our middle bit. That's our pokey uppy bit. Okay, so I'm going to pop that back on there, and now we can glue this bit down. And remember, we're not going to glue it flat. We're going to glue it so it's a bit of an apex. What I am going to do is, so that you don't see these quite so much, I'm just going to round these corners with the biggest round that I've got, and then it's not as obvious. They don't kind of stick out. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you wrap them around your neck? Can you tie them in a bow? I don't know where that came from, and I probably should go back, shouldn't it? Good job I kept the receipt, so all of my jokes are returnable. They don't necessarily give me a refund on them. They just they know me. Do you know me? So we're going to put that on there. Right, you don't want to put too much on. So we're going to put some glue on this tab. So I've just fold its ears back for a bit. Bend its ears back. And we're going to pop that. And what we'll do is we'll get one side on, and then we'll get the other side on. So we're going to do that bit there. We're just going to lift that because we've got this bent a bit. So we just want it to be lifted a little bit. You can be lifted, lifted. So we're going to lift it before we glue it, so that it also has the same sort of angle. And then when you close it up, it'll go nice and flat that way. So then we're going to flip that up, and we're going to do that other ear flap thing. Glue that down. And we're going to do that. And then before we completely let it go, let it glue, we're just going to fold it. Come on, we're going to, don't get stuck. We're going to fold it over. This is where we're going to get, it's going to go all wrong for me, isn't it? There we go. I'm going to fold it over. Right, okay. Let's do it this way then. So we're going to fold it this way. So what you want to make sure is when it folds over is that it sticks out a little bit, because if it doesn't stick out, it's going to not go through that hole again. So you want it to just stick out, because once it's flat, you know it's in the right place. Let's do that again, because that didn't go particularly well. So we want it to just stick out this middle bit, otherwise it won't find its space properly. And then when you fold it over, stick it on like that. And then you should find it picks the place up better. Picks its place better. Go on, then go flat. There we go. Cool. That's better. Much better. Yes, much better. Okay, so again, you're just going to have to kind of get it used to it. Okay. And the other thing to do is, just to get it to flow better, is, you know, I like to use a bit of a kangle. You can use a kangle if you like. I will use a candle. I just use a bit of a candle, okay, on it, okay, on the surface of your card. Just go over it a little bit, and that will just give it a bit of a smooth edge. I mean, obviously, if you've got a Christmas scented candle, this is fruity, this is dewberry, but what it will do is it'll just oil it, a bit like a hinge on, sorry, a drawer runner. When you get a sticky drawer runner, you can do that. There we go, and that's how it's going to go. So we now have this that opens up, it presents itself. We can then put our little gift card in there. So pop that in there. And it's what a lovely way to present a nice gift card. Now, obviously, what we want to do now is we want to make sure that we've got some other pockets that we can put other things in. You know, you could put a little bit of money in there. So this is the reason why it was called a Secret 7, because it had 7 pockets. Whether you want to put 7 pockets in is entirely up to you. Okay. Now, what I did do is I had a bit of a band that we had something tucked in. We had some tucks here. But these are all the pieces that are left from our cut. And you can choose where you want to have those. Now, what I think I will do is I will have one on the back, but I don't want to completely cover everything up. So I will have a big one on the back. So I might not put as many on this time round. And how do I want to decorate them? I could use some of the stuff that I already have, and wouldn't that be nice to be able to use up what we've got rather than using more? So what we could do is if we pop that on there, hello, let's close that up. We will put a Velcro dot on that middle bit. What I was thinking, if I put that on there and I put that on there, that could kind of marry up and look quite nice, couldn't it? Yep, I think I'm going to do that. So I will glue it to that edge and then cut off the remainder, and then we'll have let's put that back on there so it's kind of in the right place. Where should we have it? Yeah, we'll have it there. Well, that's going to go up to that edge and it'll come a bit further down. I think we'll have it there so that it sits kind of there. Yeah, and what I'll do is, just for you guys, you know I don't like fussy cutting, but just for you guys I'm going to fussy cut this bow out. I'll fussy cut the edge of this bow out, and we're going to cut this bit off. I know this is not fussy cutting. This is, I can't be bothered cutting. There's nothing fussy about that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this ribbon just ever so slightly. It's not a huge amount of fussy cutting, I realise. But just kind of cut it so that it gives it a bit more shape and feels like it's the edge of a ribbon. There we go. So you don't have the white bits that you could see. Well, not they weren't white, but they were cream. You don't have the cream bits showing. I now feel like my nose is running. So let's hope that that horror doesn't appear on camera. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm just going to cut the bottom bit off. We'll cut that straight with a ruler. Cut that straight across there. And we'll round these corners, and we'll do that nice and steep rounded. Okay, we'll put a bit of aging on that. And the reason I'm not going to do all of the pockets is because I think it'd just cover it all up. All that nice paper that we've just used, it would all cover it up. Okay, so we're going to have that there, and I think that's going to look great. In fact, I'm going to have it right down to the bottom of that edge, so you can't see the other bit of ribbon sticking out the bottom, and it'll look like it was meant to be there, like that. And that's another space for us to put another little thing. So when I make a pocket, I always like to push it together so it just presents itself as a pocket. We will have a Velcro dot on here. Oh, hang on, there's a Velcro dot somewhere. We'll get a Velcro dot, and you know I always have the clear bit. On a clear day you can see forever, apparently. There is a song in that as well, but I am not going to sing that because I don't know it. I've just taken that bit off and I don't know which way around it went now. So I usually end up sticking these back on the wrong side. One side doesn't peel off and the other side does. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this in the middle, somewhere in the middle. If you want to make yours more accurate, do so. And then we'll pop that onto there. Okay, so we're going to open it like this. I'm going to open it like this. Okay, and like I say, you can use these for various bits. You could put some pockets in. I think I'm actually not going to do that. Now I know that's you know, it's a bit of a cheat, but it's still one sheet. I didn't use all of the pockets this time, but certainly if you look at the way that I made it originally, so this one, all of the pieces that I made, I used and utilised again. But I think if we did these same things, it's going to cover up what we've already done, and we don't want to do that. We want to leave it like, so we know the centrepiece is our gift card, so we'll pop that back in there. So we're going to open it up. We're going to pop our gift card back in there. Well, we are, if right, we can get it to open. There we go. Put our gift card in there. You could always put money in there, you know, if you're going to give me money. I like it to be presented to me. When you put it in, just make sure that your gift card is pushed sufficiently down so that it doesn't get in the way of your fold. That pocket is plenty big enough for a gift card to go in. It will sit all the way down if you wish, but like, you know, I like to have it a little bit presented. Then people know it's there, and then it closes up and it seals like that. And then I guess we could put a nice little, we could put a little tag. We could put one of these. So I did print these in a much smaller size, or we could have one of these. The only reason why I decided not to use these is they kind of just trigger my trypophobia slightly. So I have what's called trypophobia, which is my fear of random holes. Or I was thinking I could possibly put a little family on together. So this oh, look, that little family there. I quite like that. So these are my this is hoi polloi and kindred. So these are lots of little paper dolls. Both of these are available on my Etsy. So you can go, there's 2 kits. One's got 57 images on of couples, singles and families. And the other one's got 59. One's got 57, one's got 59. And they are hoi polloi and kindred. That's what they're called. Hoi polloi, by the way, in case anybody wants to know, means the masses. So it's, I think it's Greek for the masses. The hoi polloi. It's an old-fashioned term that people used to use for people, for a gathering of people. And yes, so I wanted, the reason why I created these is because I just wanted a bit of an extension from what was available and a bit of quirkiness from what was available from good old Tim, because there's some of them here, as you'll see, there's some people that are very flamboyant. She's a bit big for those. There's some lads together. There's, you know, different types. You'll find men in flamboyant outfits. You'll find women with moustaches. You'll find men in dresses. So we've got it all going on here. Because I like, we've got, you know, different ethnicities. We've got singles and groups. See, look, there you go, somebody with a moustache. We've just got a nice selection of variety, and that's what I wanted to do. So I think I am going to have them on there because that's me adding me to this. We are going to have this nice little grouping of people. We might even have another one on the other side. And then I believe we are done. So, yeah, like I say, the my co-collaborator, I mean, like, you know, collaborating, you know, it always had such a bad name, you know, collaborating. But these days, collaborating is good, and it should be. So go and support my fellow collaborator, who is Kim. And remember, she's at My Artful Crafts. Head over to her, show her some love and some respect. And you can see how she makes, or what she does with her version of the make we've done today. I think we might have him there. I was also thinking, is it getting a bit too giddy if I have somebody? Oh, you know me, I get very giddy very quickly. I could have somebody poking out of the pocket. Him. Oh, look at them. They're cool. They're cool as cucumbers, but they'll cover up everything if I do. You know me, I like a bit of diversity. Anyway, I'll get in a bit like my ADHD brain as well. So not only am I autistic, but like, you know, I have a bit of ADHD as well. Well, certainly my brain does. And I kind of just go off on a tangent and get a bit giddy. So we're just going to pop him on this other panel, just because it looks good and super funky, and it goes nicely with this kind of period of paper that I've chosen to use. He looks really surprised by how tall he is. So, but there we go. So what we've got, we open it up like this, and we open it, and there we go. We've got Santa in there presenting. Santa is presenting a nice little gift card. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that's something you'll give a go of. I'm really excited to see what Kim's going to do. Yes, so come back if you think that this has been fun. Come back and see more of what I do. Go over and see Kim. Go and support Kim as well. And thank you very much to Rach&Bella for asking me to participate in this collaboration. And I will see you all very soon. If I don't see you before, you know, you might come here once for this and never see me again. I hope that's not the case. But if that's the case, I just want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Season's greetings if you don't celebrate Christmas. My love and gratitude is always with you. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget, I love you all without exception, until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you very soon. And hopefully my voice will be back to normal by then. All right then. Take care, folks. Love you. Bye. Bye.